Hello, you're welcome to another insightful, informative, and educative edition of Diplomatic Affairs on Pan-African Television. Diplomatic Affairs is your go-to for all the diplomatic activities from the diplomatic community or the international community in Ghana and elsewhere. On this episode of Diplomatic Affairs, we will be focusing on the 61st edition of the Authority of the Ecowas Heads of State and Government, which took place at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel. I'll be back right after this break. Welcome back. You're still watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nartey. This is your go-to place for happenings from the diplomatic community in Ghana and around the world. Like I said, today's episode of Diplomatic Affairs will be dedicated to the Ecowas Summit. Now, Ghana on July 3rd, 2022 hosted the 61st ordinary session of the Authority of the Ecowas Heads of State and Government at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, who also doubles as Chair of the Authority of the Ecowas Heads of State and Government, hosted his colleagues, heads of state and government from 12 ECOWAS member states in the region.
It gives me great pleasure to extend to you the warm traditional Akwaba, a word of welcome to Accra, Ghana's vibrant capital. You are here to take part in the 61st ordinary session of the Conference of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government with its full agenda. I would like to thank you for your unwavering commitment to the development of our community, demonstrated by your presence at this important summit. Excellencies, this ordinary summit is taking place in a very challenging global context, characterized by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the difficult security and political situation in our region and in the world, compounded by the adverse impact of the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine on our various economies and social sectors. We've noted the positive evolution of the COVID-19 pandemic worldwide and in our region. The decrease in the number of new cases has led us to relax the restrictive measures taken at the beginning of the crisis. This result has been obtained by our collective effort, both at the regional and national levels. I salute our regional solidarity in the management of this pandemic. It illustrates our organization's ability to unite our energies to face a significant common threat. However, we must continue to remain vigilant as COVID-19 is still around. Let me address on behalf of all of us our thanks to our esteemed colleague, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who in his capacity as champion in the coordination of the fight against COVID-19 has spared no effort in this endeavor. Our region continues to be the target of indiscriminate and barbaric terrorist attacks, resulting in the loss of many innocent victims and the deterioration of the humanitarian situation in the targeted countries. These terrorist attacks are now not only focusing on the Sahel, but also expanding to the coastal states in our region. In memory of all the victims and their families, I invite us to observe a minute's silence in their honor. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. Excellencies, faced with this constant terrorist threat, it is imperative for us to continue to implement our regional action plan against terrorism and to coordinate our various security initiatives. This will reinforce our collective response to this destabilizing threat. Our determination in this area must be stronger than ever. Equally unshaken must be our resolve to maintain the stability of our region and of its member states. Indeed, following the failed coup d'etat of 1st February 2022 in Guinea-Bissau and our emergency summit of 3rd February 2022, we decided to deploy an Ecowas standby force to support the stability of the country and President Embalo Sissoco's elected government. That deployment of 609 security personnel, composed of 150 Nigerian troops and 140 Nigerian police personnel, 150 Senegalese troops, 100 Ghanaian troops, and 51 troops from Côte d'Ivoire, with a force headquarters of 18 officers drawn from across the region under the overall command of a Nigerian general and force commander, has now been completed. We must be seen as ready to go the extra mile to ensure the stability of our community and of its member states. Excellencies, the global context, characterized by the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war, has led to a sharp increase in global prices, particularly of food and petroleum products. We are all victims of global inflationary pressures, which have exacerbated the food crisis in many parts of our region, instigated by the decline in production due to the impact of climate change. We can best tackle this crisis by working to enhance the performance of our agricultural sectors to reach self-sufficiency in the area of our food needs. As you recall, on 4th June 2022 at our extraordinary summit here in Accra, we discussed extensively the political and social situation in our region, with emphasis on the current political transition in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, emanating from the unfortunate coup d'etats in those countries. We decided to re-examine this matter during this ordinary summit. ECOWAS remains committed to accompanying these sister nations to return to normal constitutional democratic order. We'll have the opportunity to hear from our mediators who will advise us on the latest development in these countries, to enable us to take the appropriate decisions. Excellencies, as this is the first ordinary summit of the year 2022, we'll hear the report on the state of the community by the President of the Commission, as well as several reports on the operations of our community by our ministers in various areas, including the report by the Chairperson of the Council of Ministers on the administrative reforms that we'll be implementing at this summit. This is the end of the tenure of the members of the present Commission. On our behalf, let me thank all the statutory appointees for the work performed during the last 4 years in the very difficult environment that I have described. I would like to thank especially His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibrou, President of the outgoing Commission, for his strong leadership during this turbulent period. I wish him and the others all the best in their future endeavors. We will also hear a report on the selection of the new commissioners of the Reformed Commission for the period 2022-2026, and designate at this summit Ecowas champions in 2 fields of contemporary importance and relevance: climate change and the restoration of our cultural goods and artifacts from those who seize them from us. Excellencies, as you are aware, I will at the end of this summit conclude my tenure as chairman of the authority. It has been a great privilege for Ghana and myself to have been given the opportunity by you to serve this noble organization for 2 consecutive terms, particularly at one of the most trying periods of its history. I have benefited tremendously from the solidarity and empathy of your excellencies in the discharge of this difficult mandate that you have conferred on me, for which I am very grateful. Needless to say, I will continue to play my full part to the best of my ability in the work of the authority. I wish the summit fruitful deliberations. Accordingly, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to declare the 61st Ordinary Session of the Conference of the Ecowas Assembly of Heads of State and Government duly open.
We thank His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and Chair of the Ecowas Authority of Heads of States and Government, for his welcome address. J'invite maintenant Son Excellence Monsieur Moussa Faki, Président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, à prononcer sa déclaration. Excellence, vous pouvez procéder depuis votre siège.
Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. That is the President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, His Excellency Umaro Sissoco Embalo. So, we'll invite President Sissoco to come over for the formalities. I have to give you this. Come here. So the first thing is that? I have to give you first of all the gavel. Okay. Authority. And that's the future.
Presidente da República do Ghana, Gold Coast. Senhores chefes de Estado e do Governo, chefes de delegação. Esta nossa conferência inscreve-se numa dinâmica de normalidade de funcionamento de uma instituição comunitária, que é uma constante na história da CEDEAO nos seus 47 anos de vida, ao serviço da integração regional e da solidariedade, da paz, da segurança, da democracia e da boa governação entre os Estados-membros. Senhores Presidente, efetivamente a CDAO realizou progressos institucionais relevantes. A Guiné-Bissau, por exemplo, beneficiou claramente desses progressos. Mas é possível e é desejável fazer mais e melhor. Na construção institucional da CDAO, tendo em vista uma responsabilização adequada de cada Estado-membro nas instâncias comunitárias, sem exceção. É consensual que cada Estado-membro da CDAO tem pleno direito ao seu momento de maior visibilidade, de maior notoriedade, na dinâmica institucional da nossa organização regional. Exercer esse direito corresponderá igualmente à satisfação de sua legítima ambição de servir, apenas de servir, de maneira responsável, a nossa comunidade, contando sempre com a solidariedade ativa de todos os outros membros. É nesse pressuposto que a Guiné-Bissau, Estado-membro da CDAO, desde 1975, apresentou e defendeu a sua pretensão de assumir a presidência da Conferência dos Chefes de Estado e do Governo da nossa comunidade, no mandato que agora se vai iniciar. Registro com muita satisfação e sentido de responsabilidade que a nossa pretensão mereceu o apoio e a solidariedade de Vossas Excelências. E é o povo guinense que vos agradece pela confiança que assim depositaram na Guiné-Bissau. A Guiné-Bissau reafirma o seu firme compromisso com a agenda da CDAO e promete que tudo fará para que os países membros falemos numa só voz. São muitos os desafios, mas estamos convencidos de que, com a boa vontade, o espírito de solidariedade que nos caracteriza, juntos encontraremos as soluções no domínio da segurança. No que se refere à luta contra o terrorismo, no plano sanitário, a procura de soluções comuns para combater a pandemia. No domínio político, a questão dos 3 Estados-membros suspensos, que é para nós prioritária, e ainda a insegurança alimentar, que ameaça a nossa sobrevivência, consequência de uma crise humanitária profunda que assola o mundo. Creio poder afirmar que, neste contexto de normalidade institucional, o dia de hoje para Guiné-Bissau só pode ser um dia excepcional, um dia memorável. Concluo agradecendo a todos os Estados-membros, na pessoa dos seus chefes de Estado, e pelo apoio e pela confiança depositadas na minha pessoa para assumir a presidência histórica da CDAO. E para terminar, gostaria de dizer que eu sou apenas o vosso representante nessa nossa comunidade. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much.
Closing remarks. This puts an end to the closing ceremony of the 61st Ordinary Session of the Ecowas
watching Diplomatic Affairs with me, Harriet Nartey, and it's the Ecowas, the 61st summit of the Ecowas, which is happening right here in Accra. I have the privilege of speaking to General Francis A. Bihanzin, and he is in charge of political affairs, peace and security. You've heard so much about ECOWAS. You heard the team leaving, Akufo-Addo is, leaving, and we have a new team coming in. I want us to really understand what this whole summit is about. It's good to have you on Diplomatic Affairs.
Thank you so much to have a very big interest to our community, our regional community. Here today in Accra we have the 61 ordinary section of authority and government of ECOWAS. And at this summit we do the point of the situation in the region, political and security point, also our economic situation in the region. And I can tell you that we do two very big things. The first one is after the analysis of the situation of our country, on the side of political, on the side of security, humanitarian, we speak about the three countries who are in disgrace after the coup d'etat: Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. And there are many decisions who have been taken. And after that, I can tell you that we are changing the hand of power of our community. I want to thank very much the head of state of Ghana, who have been the chairman, the chair of the authority for 2 years. It's very stressful for him, and I know that he's capable. He do very well the job, and he give the power now to Embalo, Sissoco, from Guinea, Bissau. In our community we have 3 languages: English, French, and Portuguese. That is the first time the power is in the hand of Portuguese, and I'm very happy for the solidarity of our community, for the stability in our region, for integration of our region. The second thing I can tell you is about the handover of the Commission. The President of the Commission and me also, Commissioner, we have to hand over. And actually the President of the Commission belongs to the Gambia, who chose the one foreign affairs minister as the President of the Commission. And from today, we have to go, as we come to Ghana, to Accra, we have all the time to go to Guinea-Bissau to talk about our community, to talk about what is happening in our region.
So there is a new team that is going to spearhead the political activities of ECOWAS.
Do institutional reform. And from 15 members as a commissioner in the commission, they become 7. We reduce the cost of our community to be able to face the challenge in our region.
What's the situation like in the region politically with regards to Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso?
Okay, about Mali, the head of state, after analyzing the situation and the report of the mediator, Goodluck Jonathan, they decided to lift some sanctions. Principally the sanction about economic and financial sanction on Mali, to give the opportunity to the people to live better. Also, the border who was closed will be open again. And gradually they will leave the other sanction, because we have a chronogram about the election to go to a constitutional order. The head of state was happy for what happened again now in Mali, in Burkina Faso, but remain the situation of Guinea, in which I think there will be a new mediator who will follow up the situation and give the reporter to know how to do.
Thank you so much for your time, General. I'm so much grateful for your time. And I look forward to hosting you on Diplomatic Affairs Live for us to really learn more about ECOWAS.
You are welcome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So the summit reviewed the political and humanitarian affairs in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, following their suspension from the organization as a result of the unconstitutional changes of government in these three countries. So on that note, this is where we end today's episode of Diplomatic Affairs. We will still be following happenings and bring you updates from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to see how things go right after the chair is done with his tenure, and we have a new team coming in to supervise the activities of ECOWAS. So we will keep you updated every step of the way. My name is Harriet Nartey, and this has been another episode of Diplomatic Affairs.